this now. One more time for Vanessa Allen. That was great. I mentioned a little bit earlier about being queer in Alberta, and I think even in Nova Scotia, like, you have to be a little bit tough to be queer, right? Like, for example, Caitlyn Jenner was accused of vehicular manslaughter, which is terrible, don't get me wrong, but the good news is she's getting her own spin-off called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Somebody went, oh geez, it's gonna get worse. And sometimes people will tell me, they're like, oh well, when's straight pride? It's Easter. Bright colors, there's a parade. You have furries. Plus, it all started because one guy got nailed. One guy clapped. Honestly, that went better than the church gig I did. But I don't like Easter. I'm a childless woman in my 30s. For me, an egg hunt is between me and my gynecologist. And like, maybe I should have had children in my 20s, maybe. The truth is, I didn't meet anybody I liked enough to keep their cum as a pet. So as some of you may be aware, I was in the hospital for a little while last year. I was in ICU for about 2 weeks. See, what I just did is I said something horrible and then I made you feel sorry for me. You are my puppets. But I was in the hospital, and while I was there was a gentleman. He was elderly. I don't know how old, but like, he drank at the Legion, you know? And one of the nurses said to him, Gary, you have the vitals of a teenager. And Gary said, that's because I just did a bump of cocaine. The fountain of youth is made out of snow. But I don't know, I was a little bit messed up. I lost some memory. I couldn't walk by myself. I couldn't even use the bathroom. I was basically like a big dumb baby. I was like a baby with really great tits. I was R. Kelly's dream girl for about 6 weeks. Which works because I was covered in pee for a lot of it. But my husband was really worried about me because they were like, you know, she lost memory. It may have even impacted her personality. And he was worried because he likes my personality. And so he's all worried, and I'm doped up on all of the drugs. And he comes in, and the first thing I notice is that he's wearing pants. Which makes sense because he was visiting a hospital. But I was upset about it, and I immediately yell, why are you hiding your penis? I want to see it. And he's like, oh yeah, she's fine. We do still have a lot of great comedians for you tonight. Are you guys having fun? Our headliner tonight has done the Portland Comedy Fest. She's recorded for JFL. She's amazing. She's in the back. Let's hear it for Adrienne Gabrielle. And we have a lot more comics to go. I'm used to being around a lot of people. I actually come from a family of 19 children. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know anything about like numbers or humans, but that's too many. A lot of people say their family was from a small town. My family just is a small town. And like, don't worry about my mom. Like, my dad was like the Nick Cannon of the prairies. I don't want you to think my mom was just walking around with a vagina the size of a hula hoop. She was fine. And if you're wondering what it was like growing up in that kind of environment, have you ever stayed at a hostel? Like, there was a big room full of beds for boys, big room full of beds for girls, and I was in the closet because it was the 90s. And I was telling this to a local recently, and I was like, you know, I come from a family of 19. He's very surprised. And I was like, look, I'm from Alberta. It's farmland. It's not that weird. And this guy like looks at me and he goes, do you mean like a people farm? No, it's also a lot of birthdays to remember. I got in trouble last year. I forgot my sister's birthday. I know, I sound like a dick. Doctors even think I'm a dick. But like, nobody remembers anyone's birthday. That's the only reason why we still have Facebook. Right? So I forget my sister's birthday. She's all upset. And I'm like, you expect me to remember your birthday just because we're twins? On that note, I'm going to bring up your next comic. She is a regular